Have you ever walked past someone sitting alone and thought, they don't matter to my life? We hurry by strangers every day, never realizing that behind tired eyes or worn clothes, there may be a story of heartbreak, of mistakes, of hope barely holding on. This is the story of Jason, a man who thought his life had ended on a park bench, until God showed him that even in the lowest places, grace can find us. Jason hadn't always been invisible. In his 20s, he was sharp, ambitious, and determined to succeed. He landed a steady job in sales, married his college sweetheart, and soon welcomed 2 children into the world. He bought a small home in the suburbs, complete with a backyard where his kids could play. From the outside, it looked like the American dream, but underneath, cracks began to show. Stress from work pushed him toward late-night drinks with coworkers. At first, it was harmless, just a way to relax. But over time, alcohol became a quiet chain wrapped around him. Gambling followed, then reckless spending. One mistake after another snowballed until his marriage crumbled, his job disappeared, and his kids became distant. Now, instead of tucking them into bed at night, Jason sat on a park bench, clutching a worn backpack that carried all he owned. That bench became his world. During the day, he watched people hurry by, parents pushing strollers, joggers with headphones, kids chasing soccer balls. Everyone seemed to have somewhere to go, someone waiting for them. But Jason had no destination, just time, stretching endlessly. He would sometimes whisper to himself, "How did I get here?" The shame was heavier than the backpack by his side. Every mistake replayed in his mind like a cruel movie. The lies he told his wife, the excuses at work, the promises to his children that he never kept. God must be done with me, he thought. He believed he had burned every bridge, ruined every chance. At night, the park grew quiet. The laughter faded. Jason curled up on that cold bench, trying to sleep, listening to the wind move through the trees. It was loneliness, like he had never known before. One afternoon, as Jason sat staring at the ground, he heard small footsteps. A little boy had wandered up to him, smiling with innocent curiosity. In his tiny hands was half of a peanut butter sandwich. "Here," the boy said, pushing it toward Jason. Jason shook his head. No, you keep it." But the boy insisted. When Jason finally accepted it, tears welled in his eyes. Something about that simple act pierced his heart. He remembered the words he once heard in church long ago. "Whatever you did for the least of these, you did for me." Could it be that God was reaching him through this child's kindness? That night, Jason did something he hadn't done in years. He prayed. It wasn't eloquent. It wasn't long. Just 4 desperate words whispered into the dark. "God, don't forget me." He didn't know if anyone was listening, but for the first time in a long time, he felt a flicker of hope. The next morning, Jason woke to find something on the bench beside him. A Bible, old, leather-bound, with creased pages. He had no idea who left it, but curiosity drew him to open it. The first verse his eyes fell on was Psalm 34:18. "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." Jason broke down, sobbing. It was as if God himself had spoken directly into his despair. Maybe, just maybe, God wasn't done with him. A week later, a group from a local church came to the park to hand out food. Jason almost walked away, ashamed to be seen as one of the homeless, but hunger won. One of the volunteers, an older man with kind eyes, didn't just give Jason a plate of food. He sat down beside him. He asked his name. He listened. After Jason reluctantly shared some of his story, the man said something that Jason never expected. "You know, Jesus still has a plan for you, or isn't final with him." Those words planted a seed. The man invited Jason to church. At first, Jason laughed bitterly. "I wouldn't fit in there," but the volunteer just smiled. "Neither did I at first. Come anyway." That Sunday, Jason showed up. He sat at the very back, nervous, ashamed, ready to run at any moment. But something unexpected happened. Instead of judgment, he felt warmth. People greeted him, shook his hand, saved him a seat. And when the music began, Jason couldn't stop the tears. Every lyric felt like it was written for him. He felt God whisper, "Welcome home." Jason's life didn't change overnight. Healing is a process, not a lightning strike. But he kept showing up to church. He joined a recovery group. He started praying daily, even when the words felt clumsy. The bench that once represented shame now became a reminder of grace. He often returned to it, but now to pray and to talk with others who felt forgotten. He eventually found part-time work through someone at church. Later, that turned into a steady job. He reconnected with his kids slowly, building trust one small step at a time. One sunny afternoon, Jason sat again on his old bench, but this time, he wasn't broken. He was talking with another man who had lost everything to addiction. Jason listened, nodded, and finally said the same words once spoken to him. Jesus still has a plan for you. Failure isn't final with him. The man wept, just as Jason once had. And in that moment, Jason understood. God had turned his place of shame into his place of ministry. Jason's story is a reminder. No one is too far gone for God. No failure is too big. No shame too heavy. No bench too lonely for him to show up. Maybe you feel like Jason, like life has left you behind, like you've ruined your chances, like God couldn't possibly still care. But hear this, God is not done with you. He doesn't wait for you to get cleaned up. He comes right into your mess and whispers, "You're still mine." If you believe that God can meet you even on your worst day, type Amen.